Good evening and welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. So as far as our fight against the coronavirus is concerned, I think a concerted message is being sent out both from the centre and the state as the Prime Minister convened his second meeting, virtual meeting with all the state chief ministers. Now the only way we can fight this virus is when united we stand. The Prime Minister spoke to the chief ministers. Is a collective strategy the best way to prepare for a life beyond coronavirus? The Prime Minister said a number of things and the Chief Ministers also placed certain demands. We're going to talk about it later in the show. In fact, we'll also be joined in by the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel, in just a short while from now. In about 30 minutes from now, we shall be getting you an exclusive interview with the WHO Special Envoy, Dr. David Nabarro. Now, what does he say? While all over the world, many countries, many developed countries have been criticized for the delay in their response, the World Health Organization feels that India's lockdown was well in time and could save many lives. He says India knows how to fight this. We'll play that out at 9:30.
The Prime Minister interacting with chief ministers for the second time on the coronavirus pandemic. The big message that states need a common exit strategy to ensure the staggered re-emergence of the population once the 21-day lockdown ends. The Prime Minister asked states to send suggestions for the exit strategy, to focus on testing, tracing, isolation and quarantine for the next few weeks. The goal, he said, is to ensure minimum loss of life, to work on a war footing, identify virus hotspots, encircle them, ensure it doesn't spread. The Prime Minister also said the global situation was far from satisfactory, with speculation of a possible second wave of cases in some countries. The coronavirus is threatening our way of life, he said, adding that it can't be business as usual even after the lockdown is over.
हमें अपनी आस्था, हमारे पंथ, हमारी विचारधारा को बचाने के लिए सबसे पहले कोरोना वायरस को परास्त करना पड़ेगा। आज आवश्यकता है कि सभी मत, पंथ, विचारधारा के लोग एकजुट होकर कोरोना महामारी को पराजित करें।
9 chief ministers attended the video conference and many asked for more money to deal with the pandemic as they struggle with finances. However, that demand did not get a response from the centre. Meanwhile, the Congress Working Committee met on video conference as well today, with Sonia Gandhi supporting the lockdown but criticizing its implementation. The focus is squarely on the next couple of weeks, which will be critical towards determining how India moves forward. Bureau Report, NDTV.
नमस्कार, मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता था भूपेश जी कि छत्तीसगढ़ किस तरीके से कोरोना वायरस से लड़ रहा है।
देखिए, छत्तीसगढ़ में जो प्रारंभिक तैयारी है उसको हमने फरवरी से शुरू कर दिया था और उसके बाद मार्च के प्रथम सप्ताह में ही सारी मीटिंग हमने कर ली थी और 13 मार्च को सारे स्कूल है, कॉलेज है, आंगनबाड़ी है, मॉल है, टाकीज है, मंत्रालय तक हमने बंद कर दिया था और लोगों से लगातार अपील करते रहे और उसके कारण से कोई यहाँ परेशानी नहीं हुई। औद्योगिक क्षेत्र में जो उद्योग बंद हो रहे थे वहाँ उद्योगपतियों से बात करके जो श्रमिक थे उनकी व्यवस्था, वहीं रहने खाने पीने की व्यवस्था हम लोगों ने कराई और इस कारण से बड़ी संख्या में जो लोग पलायन कर रहे थे उससे बचा जा सका। तो एक तरफ वो किए और दूसरी तरफ जो व्यवस्था हमने की वो जहाँ सब्जी बराबर लोगों को पहुँचते रहे, दूध लोगों तक पहुँचते रहे, अनाज है वो लोगों को उपलब्ध होता रहे, ये व्यवस्था हमने की और छत्तीसगढ़ में 65 लाख परिवार जहाँ निवास करते हैं सबको, उसमें से 56 लाख परिवार जो बीपीएल कार्डधारी है उनको हमने मुफ्त में 70 किलो चावल 2 महीने का देने का फैसला किया और वो वितरण का कार्य लगातार जारी है। मध्याह्न भोजन भी जो स्कूल में देते हैं वो सूखा अनाज का पैकेट बना के उनके पालकों तक के दे रहे हैं। रेडी टू ईट जो बच्चों के हैं और जो कुपोषित बच्चे हैं और एनीमिक महिलाएं हैं, उसको भी सूखा राशन उनके घरों तक पहुंचाने का काम हम लोग कर रहे हैं। तो इस कारण से जो सामान की उपलब्धता है वो बराबर बनी हुई है। ये बात सही है कि लोग अपने घरों में बंद हैं और परेशानी तो हो रही है, लेकिन पूरे छत्तीसगढ़ के लोग सहयोग कर रहे हैं और समाज सेवी संगठन है वो लगातार सहयोग प्रदान कर रहे हैं। इसके बाद भी बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो दूसरे प्रदेश के यहाँ हैं, वो हमारे मेहमान हैं और उसकी पूरी व्यवस्था हम लोगों ने कैंपों के माध्यम से उसके रहने खाने पीने की व्यवस्था हमने की है। हमारे एक जिले से दूसरे जिला गए जो मजदूर हैं उनकी भी व्यवस्था हमने की है। साथ ही ऐसे परिवार जिसके पास कोई राशन कार्ड वगैरह नहीं है उनके लिए भी गर्म भोजन हमारे सामाजिक संगठन बना रहे हैं, उसको घर तक पहुंचाने का काम, सूखा राशन पहुंचाने का काम, ये सब काम कर रहे हैं। और पूरा जो प्रशासन है वो लगा हुआ है निरंतर। सभी विभाग के अमले हैं, अधिकारी हों चाहे कर्मचारी हों, दिन रात मेहनत कर रहे हैं। और इस कारण से हमारे यहाँ जो कोविड-19 के जो मरीज हैं अभी तक के 9 लोग ही उसमें पॉजिटिव मिला है, जिसमें से 3 है वो उसको रिलीव कर दिया गया है, हॉस्पिटल से डिस्चार्ज कर दिया गया है।
जी, प्रधानमंत्री से वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग हुई है। प्रधानमंत्री ने तमाम मुख्यमंत्रियों से अलग अलग राज्यों के बातचीत की है। प्रधानमंत्री ने बहुत सराहना की है भूपेश बघेल जी के राज्य का जो काम है वो काफ़ी सराहनीय है। लेकिन ये जो एक वर्चुअल कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई, वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग जो हुई, उससे एक दूसरे से भी काफ़ी राज्यों को समझ में आया होगा कहाँ क्या कमी है, कहाँ क्या सबक आप ले सकते हैं दूसरे राज्यों से। ऐसे में एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या जो डॉक्टरों की सुरक्षा को लेकर भी आ रही है। छत्तीसगढ़ के बारे में ये जानना चाहेंगे कि अस्पतालों में, दूर दराज इलाकों में केंद्रीय लेवल पे सरकार ने अब ऑर्डर किए हैं बहुत इस तरह की जो प्रोटेक्टिव सूट्स वगैरह हैं, उसकी कमी कैसी है, डॉक्टरों को किस तरह की सुविधाएं मिल पा रही हैं?
देखिए, सबसे पहली बात तो ये है कि समय रहते ही हम लोगों ने कदम उठाए, उसका हमको सुपरिणाम मिला। जितने भी विदेश यात्रा किए थे उनको होम आइसोलेशन में रखे और उसकी संख्या 51,000 है। जो ऐसे परिवार हैं जो हो सकता है संभावित हो, जो विदेश यात्रा किए हैं उनको होम क्वारंटाइन में रखें। गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से भी था और उनको सचेत कर दिए तो सब लोग सहयोग किए। दूसरा, ये बात नहीं है कि जो डॉक्टर है, नर्स है, स्टाफ है जो काम कर रहे हैं उसके लिए खतरा बना हुआ है, लेकिन ये काम अभी हमारे यहाँ केवल एम्स में चल रहा है और राजनांदगांव मेडिकल कॉलेज में एक मरीज है, एक बिलासपुर में है। तो इस प्रकार से तो संख्या हमारे यहाँ बहुत अधिक नहीं होने के कारण से ये स्थिति निर्मित नहीं हुई कि डॉक्टरों का क्या होगा। लेकिन एक बात है कि जो जिसके पूरे सिम्टम दिखाई दे रहे हैं केवल उसी की जांच हो रही है, तो इस कारण से आंकड़े भी कम ही हैं।
भूपेश जी, मैं आपसे एक सवाल ये जानना चाहता हूं। देखिए, बहुत सारे लोग छत्तीसगढ़ से, मध्य प्रदेश से, उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार से जाते हैं दिल्ली, नोएडा, मुंबई, अलग अलग शहरों में काम करने, गुजरात में अलग अलग जगह काम करने। आपने वो तस्वीरें तो देखी होंगी किस तरीके से लाखों लाख लोग रातों रात सड़क पर आ गए और पैदल पलायन कर रहे थे। इन तस्वीरों को देख करके मैं बतौर मुख्यमंत्री आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि क्या रणनीति बनानी चाहिए थी?
देखिए, लॉकडाउन उस मामले में तो फेल हो चुका। आपने लॉकडाउन किया और दिल्ली देश की राजधानी है, वहीं की सड़कों में लाखों लोग यदि उतर आए तो फिर लॉकडाउन आपका पूरी तरह से फेल है। हमने जो किया वो क्रमशः सबको विश्वास में लेते हुए, यदि दिल्ली के उद्योगपतियों से, व्यापारियों से, जिसके यहाँ मजदूर काम कर रहे हैं, यदि केवल उन्हीं को विश्वास में ले लेते और उनके रहने खाने पीने की व्यवस्था के लिए अपील कर देते या वही शासन व्यवस्था कर देती तो ये स्थिति निर्मित नहीं होती। तो ये जो अफरा तफरी मची है वो एक तो लोगों को विश्वास में नहीं लेना, मुख्यमंत्रियों को विश्वास में नहीं लेना और दूसरा जनता को विश्वास में नहीं लेना है। वही काम हम लोग छत्तीसगढ़ में किए, एक एक वर्ग से बात करते हुए एक एक काम को स्टेप बाय स्टेप हम लोग निर्णय लेते रहे, और इसके कारण से हमें कोई अधिक परेशानी नहीं हुई। दूसरे राज्य से जो मजदूर या रांची से कोई शहडोल जा रहे हैं या फिर उड़ीसा से राजस्थान जा रहे हैं, ऐसे लोगों को हम रोके हैं, सीमा में हमारे लोग रुके हुए हैं। उसका कारण यही है कि ये पूरे देश में यदि एक निर्णय में एक रूपता होती तो ये परेशानी नहीं होती। हमने छत्तीसगढ़ में जितने भी फैसले लिए, सारे कलेक्टर्स को, सारे जनप्रतिनिधियों को सब में विश्वास लेते हुए कदम उठाए, तो हमारे राज्य में सभी जिलों में जो फैसले हुए, जो कदम उठाए गए, तो उसमें एक रूपता थी। चाहे दंतेवाड़ा जिला हो, चाहे हमारे बलरामपुर जिला हो, ये एक ही जैसे हमारे फैसले हुए। उसके कारण से पूरे छत्तीसगढ़ के सारे फैसले में एक रूपता रही और लोगों का सहयोग भी मिला।
All right, and to discuss this further, its economic impact on states, what sort of coordination should be there between the states and the centre, and eventually how should the country as a whole prepare for a life beyond coronavirus. I have Amitabh Dubey, is a political analyst and a policy coordinator. We also have Vivek Reddy, leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Ashish K. Jha, MD and MPH Director of Harvard Global Health Institute. Thanks very much, Ashish, for joining us as well. Amitabh Dubey, let me begin with you. This seems to be, a great coordination in the time of crisis. I would say unprecedented, where political parties have largely kept their political differences aside, and they're all coming together. The Prime Minister, this was his second meeting with the Chief Ministers. The Chief Minister striking a respectful note in dealing with this crisis. I want to know from you, what should be an ideal response behind or beyond this video conference? For instance, what should the strategy for the next 2 or 3 months should be in terms of coordination?
So, I agree with you. I think it's very positive that the Prime Minister is holding these meetings, the Chief Ministers are interacting. This is what the government should be doing. This is how government should be working. And this is a national crisis that we are all facing together. At the moment, I think there are two big issues that we are seeing on the ground. One is, of course, supply of ventilators. The other is supply of personal protective equipment, which many doctors are complaining about. And I think in this sense, I think the response has been a little slower than would have been ideal. The first Indian case was on the 30th of January, and some time was lost. But I think people are catching up. The issue is that we are now crossing 2,000 cases. So the pace is beginning to accelerate in purely mathematical terms. So we really have to rush to get the PPE kits out to all of the states, to get enough ventilators going in time that we can keep up with this very mathematical progression in the number of cases that is going on. I think the financial packages that the Prime Minister or the Finance Minister announced were a good start. But I think everyone agrees that we need to spend a lot more. We need to put more money into the hands of the farmers, more money into the hands of the wage laborers, and so on. So whatever steps have been taken, I think we need to take them further. So I would say that it's a good start. The optics are very good, but we have a long way ahead of us.
Okay. Vivek Reddy, a lot of people, many leaders, for instance, we spoke to the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh just a short while ago, you must have heard. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, many other Chief Ministers also seem to suggest that the only way they'll be able to overcome, one is of course the message of the Prime Minister that while we resume our lives, make sure that you maintain social distancing. On-point messaging, that must be done. But then for fixing the economy or the broken wheels of the economy, many states are now asking for an economic stimulus package. Now, how does that happen? Or will that happen? Or should that happen?
Well, I think for now, the government is focusing on the sort of stimulus that is given to farmers, workers, laborers, and a cross-section of people who are really suffering due to this lockdown. they are the ones who are first hit. The government has not focused on the middle class. It has given some subsidy to the middle class. It has postponed, given a moratorium to the loans. But the main concern of the government is those who will be most terribly hit by such a lockdown. I think the government has done a good job on that front. And as things evolve, the government will be considering various issues that fall within the scope of this coronavirus, the cascading effects of coronavirus. And as things move on, the government will look at various other measures. But for now, Sanket, I think the targeted direct benefit schemes given by the government for various sections of people, particularly the laborers, the farmers, I think this is where it matters because we are putting money into their own hands. And this caters to about 80 crore people and about 20 crore other sections of people. I think this is a huge, huge thing. The mechanics of doing this in a country like India with 1.3 billion people and 80 crore covered out of 130 crore. I think that's a huge thing, huge achievement of the government. The government used to dole out social benefits, social welfare measures over all these years. But doing it on such a grand scale has been the first. And the fact that India has the money to do it and is doing it effortlessly, that shows that the economic gains made by India due to Modi's financial measures, financial reforms, are really we have to really give accolades to this sort of an approach and the outcome that India has achieved in this coronavirus
Kate,
issue.
I want to just cut in here and make a correction.
Sure, Mr.
That the 80 crore people that our friend Mr. Reddy is referring to, that is the supply under the National Food Security Act, which has been there since 2013. So I think we should appreciate whatever the government is doing to help the people. But when it tries to take credit for work that was done by previous governments, the food security to 80 crore people is something that was done long before Mr. Modi came to power. I think we should hold back those kinds of claims and focus a little bit on working together.
Okay. I think
guess
what we can do is reserve one moment, Vivek Reddy, because before this spirals down to a Congress versus BJP claim versus counterclaim, I would say that now is the time where we can perhaps withhold some amount of valid or invalid criticism of the government because now we have to be on war footing. I want to introduce Ashish K. Jha, he's the director of Harvard Global Health Institute. Ashish, good to have you on the show. If you can hear me, I want to know, see, what we are discussing right now is India's collaborated response in fighting coronavirus or preparing for a life beyond coronavirus. I want to know from you, from a health point of view, what sort of coordination should ideally be there between states, center, for instance, these medical kits? There is a lot being said about there being a shortage in India. How can one learn from global experiences?
Yeah. No, so I think the most important thing for everybody to understand is that this is the most difficult, important pandemic we've been in 100 years. And we are going to be dealing with the problems of coronavirus for 12 to 18 months. Until we have a vaccine, there is no easy solution out. So the 21-day lockdown, which I have been very supportive of, I think it's a good idea, is just the beginning. And when we stop the lockdown, whether it's 21 days, even if we extend it, the virus will come back. And so the strategy has to be one of very extensive testing across the country, a strategy for isolating people who are infected, and for building up the hospitals and healthcare system, making sure the doctors and nurses have protective equipment. And that, of course, health is a state matter in India. So we're going to have states doing a lot of leading, but they're going to need a lot of help from the central government. This is not something that states are going to be able to do on their own. And it's going to take a very strong nationally coordinated effort to make sure that India's economy isn't harmed and that millions of people don't die. It's going to be very difficult. I think India can do it, but it's going to take real leadership.
Ashish, in the leadership of, say, Mr. Narendra Modi, who's been known to take quick decisions, he's been appreciated globally also. We'll just be playing out an interview with the special envoy of WHO, who seems to praise India's quick thinking in implementing this lockdown, which you also support. Do you think that it will be a tall ask for for a country as huge as this to be able to, in the next 16 to 18 months, fix these three things that you spoke about: testing, hospitals, and the entire healthcare system?
Yeah. So I think we have to be realistic. We're not going to fix all of India's health system in the next 18 months, not in the middle of a pandemic. So the question is, what can India do? And even this lockdown, which I said I'm very supportive of course, we've seen the problems with migrant workers. We've seen large numbers of them congregated together. By definition, the disease is still spreading across India. The lockdown is helpful, but it is not enough. So, but do I think India has the capacity to ramp up testing at the levels they need? I do. India's got incredible technology, has a great laboratory network, public and private. So I think India can get through this without too much damage, but it will take a lot of work. It's going to be very, very hard. I think it's doable, but I think it's going to be hard.
So Ashish has a very interesting, so you say that there is absolutely no way you can stop coronavirus with a 21-day lockdown, but there are other steps that you will have to take. Ashish, do stay on. Vivek Reddy, if you heard what Ashish said, I think, or don't you think that this should be the greatest point of coordination between the states and the center in subsequent meetings? For instance, if I were to ask you, a good healthcare system will ride on the back of doctors being secure. I mean, our basics, we are criticizing our basics here. Doctors don't have enough PPE kits or protection equipment. They don't have enough gloves. Whatever they have is of inferior quality. So our only chance as of now is what? That it becomes hot? That the virus is not strong enough? What should our strategy be? We're struggling for basics here.
I don't think the government is sitting on such a weak wicket as to wait for various circumstances to play out. If you look at the strategies of the government right from March 8th, when the COVID dashboard was opened, and the various actions trained by the government, the training of various actions taken by the government, the training of various nurse personnel, the training of health work for frontier level health workers, the training given to doctors across all the 765 districts. There's a 96% coverage. Apart from this, the lockdown measure of the government, if you look at what the US President said yesterday, President Trump, he said, I think mitigation through lockdowns and mitigation through social distancing is the only measure for this government because it has no vaccine or it has no solution. So if you look at these measures taken by the government, we were quite advanced in taking these relief measures. And what I'd really like to make a point is that we need to trust our health workers and our doctors. We always keep criticizing our health system, the health network in this country. But no, it is one of the best in the world.
No, Vivek,
Believe me,
come on.
Doctors,
let's be realistic.
The doctors have been
I'm
able
patriotic
to
enough to admit here on national television that our healthcare system is not the best in the world. We should not fool ourselves. We are not the best. We can be if we spend more money, if we put in more resources. You know, let's admit our healthcare in certain parts, you can't provide. Doctors are complaining, they're out on the streets, they're complaining that their PPE suits are torn. That in some states, in the state of West Bengal, they've been given raincoats and sunglasses.
Sanket, let me tell you, it is for the states to ensure that they give them proper equipment and apparatus, proper gear. The center has always told the states, please notify us. We will ensure that all these apparatus and gadgets are given. So the center has always been doing the reach out to the states.
If we give ourselves to believe that we are the best in terms of our healthcare, no, that is not the truth. We were quick on the block as far as announcing the lockdown is concerned. If you listen to what Ashish Jha said, you will have to fix other things also. A lockdown alone will not help us win this fight.
Well, a substantive measure such as a lockdown is what is essential to prevent the virus from running a fire, from raging across India.
Okay,
I think that has been done as a first step.
One from Amitabh Dubey and then Mr. Ashish Jha again. Amitabh.
Yeah, I think most of us are in agreement that social spacing and some kind of lockdown is necessary. But I think it has to be attuned, the lockdown has to be attuned to the needs of our country, and enough leeway should be given so that people don't then end up dying or have suffering for other reasons because the lockdown has hurt them or prevented them from accessing other services that they absolutely need. And I'm talking obviously of the poor. And I think the important thing, it's states, it is in the federal system, it is the responsibility of the states, but a lot of standards of PPE equipment, of testing, and so on are done by the central government. So I think so far some of these standards, they have been slow to announce. For instance, the rapid testing kits were just finalized a couple of days ago. But I think at this point of time, we have to go together, move forward, and make sure we accelerate from on here and make sure that the doctors and the patients get the facilities they need.
Okay, let me give the last word to Ashish Jha. Ashish, sorry, I know Harvard professor, you're not used to the ambush journalism that we do in India. As you just heard a conversation between me and Mr. Reddy, we are used to it. So Ashish, quick closing comments.
Yeah, so India is facing an enormous challenge right now. And I think India does have some excellent, some of the world-class doctors, no doubt about it, but it doesn't have enough doctors. It doesn't have enough hospital beds. And so the only way India is going to get through the next 12 to 18 months is a combination of social distancing and a very aggressive, well-deployed testing scheme that identifies people who are sick and isolates them. Distancing alone, lockdown alone isn't enough. And of course, it has a lot of economic and health costs into itself. I think India is more than capable of getting through this, but I don't think anyone should underestimate the challenge that is ahead. And it will require states and the central government working closely together to get the country through this difficult period.
All right. Ashish, Vivek Reddy, as well as Mr. Dubey, thank you so much for joining us in part one of Left, Right and Center.